Yo, what's going on?
Hey, midnight stream. Ooh, yeah. Go those sweet sounds of cool jazz.
Fucking Brie was like, I was about to go to sleep and never fucking mind.
Hey, it's 4 a.m. over here. Perfectly fine and dandy in the middle of my day.
Woo! Oh, fuck yeah, man. I need to do the stream, man. I've been, you guys, like, I have been so damn busy with the Pulse chain launch and everything like that, and all of the sacrifice phase and all this other stuff, and just coordinate things in the back that it's like cut into my streaming time. So here we had to do something. So let's do it.
Hey man, YouTube rewards those who jump on stream, so
right.
It's always good. It's always good. And I know, like today I was just, looking at a few things on YouTube comments and stuff. And somebody commented, we're surely not in a bull market anymore. And I was just like, come on, man. Like basically, depends on time frame, right, where you look at it, and it also depends on what trend analysis tool you use. And we are in a counter trend of a dominant trend, which is an up move, which means therefore a bull market. Pretty simple. We're and I love these green candles, baby, on the rest of the market right now.
Definitely, but like
sleeping in a bear market is a bad move. We've been saying this ever since the beginning of the bull market. Bad move. Why? You get rusty, baby. You come back to the market. Boom.
Right.
What the fuck just happened? Where you lose your bearings and you get soft.
Right. You get soft. Like,
yeah.
So never sleep, Charlie. So I never sleep now forever.
I am a cyborg. I do not need sleep. Oil pumps in my veins.
Dude, but I actually wanted to talk about something that I saw earlier today. Like, watch, I'm pulling an article up. This is crazy. Like, this is the trend I've been saying. Like, where everyone's saying, like, this bull market's over. This bull market's over and everything like that. Right? Look at this right there. Binance USA is looking to go public.
Ooh, baby.
Bruh.
I love CZ's fucking cojones, man. Like he's just like sending letters to the FBI telling them to thank him for cooperating with what they asked him to give them in terms of information. Now he's like, I don't give a shit that the US has started to try to like sue me, and all these countries are coordinating to try to ban Binance, right? We still got VPNs, we still got ways around this. I'm gonna go public, baby. I like that move.
Right. The amount of companies that are trying to go public next year is like, it's kind of crazy how many companies are trying to go public. So, like Gemini, Kraken, what's called BlockFi, Celsius, Binance now. What's the other one now? FTX. Also trying to go public next year. Dude, so all exchanges in the world are going public next year?
Yeah, and Sam's, he's getting ready for. He's like, you just read some of these articles and like how they're toned and everything. He's starting to lube up, the narrative machine, being like, oh yeah, the U.S. wants crypto and they want it from FTX, and they want Tom Brady, to be telling Tom Brady and Saquon Barkley, right, two of the biggest names in the NFL, are pro crypto, and I think it's pretty interesting.
In 2023, me and Charlie will be like, we have something to announce. We're going public.
I love it. Well, with the new trend of equity tokens, with what Exodus was doing with their equity token, I mean, it's possible, that you can now go public in crypto and say, screw traditional markets. I'm just gonna, fundraise for myself, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. I mean, this is making me think. So I think if you look back at some of me and Charlie's like Moon Gang episodes from like not that long ago, maybe 6-7 months ago or so, we were kind of hinting towards possibly 23 a lot. We more or less kind of decided, looking at what we had in terms of information, because crypto's like ever evolving, right? We kind of more or less settled out to somewhere in the middle of 22 being kind of like possible top, or kind of like pitch for the fervor and stuff,
right.
But if these IPOs happen later and later in 2022, you end up kind of having like residue or fumes left over, and that could bleed until maybe like the first quarter of 23.
Hey man, give me a blow off top into 2023. That'll be a very Merry Christmas that year. I love it.
Yo, I want this thing to go. I want this thing to go as long as possible, man. Because as long as the prices are this high, those juicy dividends and inflation and stuff. And
Loans come out in California, maybe.
California.
Well, yeah. Well, you won't have to worry about that too much longer.
Too much longer, right. But it's man, CZ. Other than fucking up a little bit, like because dude, CZ has played this game like a master,
baby, like a fucking fiddle.
One mistake, that's all he did, but everything else has been like.
So, yeah, 1.5. I guess.
Okay.
Like mention the one you're thinking of, and then I'll mention I guess because I think you're talking about the Dexes.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was the Dexes. Yeah, so he had Binance Dex way early on. It was like 2017, 2018.
It was like about 6 to 9 months before Uniswap even came out.
Yeah, I was like, it was like, whoa, he was that head of the curve. Like if you had asked me back then what a Dex was, I would have been like, decentralized exchange. Oh, that's cool, but I wouldn't have really understood what he meant by decentralized. Even back then, well, you know what? You understand what just something like a decentralized thing is, like Bitcoin. Like you can't shut it down, of course, but it's this whole thing of like you don't all right, like when we were using Ethereum, even back then, like it was just like a place to launch tokens. That's really what it was back then. Like I don't use Ethereum. You can't use Ethereum today like you used to be able to use it back then. Back then, there was really not much to do on it. Like. At most,
just make an ICO with some vaporware and print some money, and then duck your head and leave the market.
Right.
That's pretty much what Ethereum was being used for at the beginning, and that's why people thought it was a scam too, right? People were like, Ethereum's a scam. It's not overtaking the market. It's not going to have a network effect like Bitcoin. Boy, were they wrong.
Yeah.
But you got to admit when you're wrong. You just admit you're wrong and then move on, and then cool beans. But these maxis who cling on to past assumptions, right, of what is true in this market, they get left behind. They turn to dinosaurs. It is what it is.
I mean, you might, I hope it's Redoku. Yeah.
There you go.
2%, and most of them don't understand any of it. It might be less than 1 million players who deeply understand crypto. Yep.
Oh, probably way less than 1 million.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, damn, yeah. That's why I'm so bullish on this thing. So that's why we can make so much money on this space. It's I know it's amazing, right? It's like being like you instantly, if you kind of understand crypto, you're already in the 1% of the crypto space, and if you put that in the world population, you're part of like 0.000001 or something like that of the population.
It freaks me out, like thinking about this in relation to world history. Like we are some of the luckiest MFers on not only on the planet, but to ever have been alive. The fact that we're here right now, having this chat, looking at this market, we have the ability, right, with the internet to be self-sovereign, to make our own money, to not be controlled by the elites. No humans in human history have been this lucky, right? Very few have been able to become part of the elite class, right, and do that. But very few people have been. I mean, everybody who's tried to mint their own money in the past.
It is interesting because this is sort of like, if I remember right, like if we look at through U.S. history of where we're at right now, it's kind of like we're in the beginning of the Wild West or the middle of the Wild West, because there was a lot of like blacksmiths who essentially made their own dollars. Like you just deposited gold with them at the goldsmith or the smith, and then they would depending on their reputation, they would put their stamp on dollar bill on like notes.
Right.
And you had a bunch of currencies all over the whole United States of blacksmiths, and then eventually the blacksmiths got together and then created some of the first banks. And then these banks, they collapsed during the 1920s. The 1929 crash. But that's kind of crazy how that because it all bleeds in. Like all these banks are together, and they helped fund the United States through World War I. And then through there, the investment class started throughout the United States with the bond market, and then they bled into equities, and then from there that launched a decade-long equities. So I would think bonds was more of the stock market back then, like in terms of investment, and stocks was like crypto to us back then. And then it just like launched up, and then basically what happened was the space got very over levered. I think at the peak it was like 5 to 10x leverage. That was the leverage that they had back then. So most people
are like responsible compared to us degens.
I know
125x, baby. Here we go.
Right, but back then it was like that was pretty. That's a pretty revolution. That's like imagine going from like being able to like because back then you would only be able to borrow on basically the way we can borrow now. Like if you look at the economic system of like crypto now, even though there's leverage, right? But if you look at stuff like Celsius and Aave and everything like that, it's probably the most responsible lending there is because you can only borrow if you already have money in a way. So it's asset-backed lending. So it's like borrowing on land. So at the worst case, you lose your land, but you don't go into debt in a way. So there's really no like economic like indentation with the system. So it's a much like the system we have now is actually extremely safer than the banking system because the banking system on average, right? If you deposit your cash on there, technically they only have 2 to 2.5% reserves on the bank. Maybe
I was talking about this. I was talking about this with Tether the other day. I'm just laughing my ass off at Jim Cramer. What a fucking I don't know. But anyways, he was saying, in terms of like debt notes and different things like that, Tether is 75% backed. Right?
Yeah.
What bank? if you can find me a bank which is 20% or plus backed in their reserves, like find me one. Like Jim Cramer, go out there and find me one. And so the fact that he's like shitting on Tether and then he says China. Maybe Chinese are backing Tether. Chinese ain't backing Tether. You kidding me? The reason why they're not backing Tether is because Tether is a system for money to leave their economy.
Right? Correct.
There's actually like a little place between Russia and China where Tether has been used as a way to get money between the towns right on the borders. They don't like that. They hate that. Why do you think they're coming out with the digital yuan? It's like, and
then the United States right behind them, probably like a year or two behind them, right? Because you've been because you've had this whole thing. What do you call it on your channel? You have like the series on
Digital Currency Wars.
Yeah, the Digital Currency Wars saga that you have on your YouTube channel. I think you do that like once a month, right? Yeah,
I do it about once or twice a quarter, so about every month and a half. I try to do it about once a month, but we end up talking about these subjects anyway. So but yeah, I've done 7 parts of it since last August, and I've been talking about it on my channel since last February, not this year, but 2020. And like, and I was like, after a few months, I was like, I should probably make this a series because I think this is going to be like important to like have people look back on, go back to those episodes in particular instead of just having random episodes about it. Because last year nobody was paying attention to it. Right. This year governments are starting to pay attention to it, and then now next year it's going to be, oh yeah, this is the way things are going. Everybody's going to be jabbering on about it. But yeah.
In terms, if I had to say what kind of series I'm making, right? Like what's my Marvel universe? My Marvel Cinematic Universe.
DCC universe.
The DCC universe. I would say actually, DC universe, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Right. So I would say it's probably we're going through the 1920s. We're essentially in the beginning of about a boom right now. We're in the beginning.
I really like that analogy.
Yeah, and it kind of lines up perfectly because like you now essentially people. I mean, obviously the only difference really is that we didn't have World War I, but we did have some big calamity in the world which would stop the economic machine from moving, and then which is kind of Android 19, all that stuff right there. So I hope it because like all right, because this basically leads to about a decade, maybe 11 years of just straight to the right, basically. But it eventually, what ends up happening, I think it's what's going to end up kind of crashing everything down is the bastardization. So right, it's like almost what's going on right now is like we have nice clean white water, clean like salt-free water, and then the boomer world is all salt water, and then we're getting brackish water. So that's what's going to happen over that 10 years is that, and like that's kind of one of the reasons, one of my kind of hypotenuse sort of things with why we're starting to get lengthening cycles actually is because if you think about it, right, if you look at most millennials and Generation Z's, like the Zoomers and stuff, our attention spans are pretty fast, pretty
less
short.
Than a goldfish, less than a fucking goldfish.
So yeah,
like less than 5 seconds, I think.
Real, it's really crazy. I mean, I caught myself in the loop yesterday. Like, I caught myself at 30 minutes doing this the other day. Like,
I'm gonna grab my lunch real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
microwave. Yeah.
I caught myself in a loop the other day. Like I was on YouTube and I clicked on a short, or the little YouTube shorts, and then I just kept going through them, and I was like, what the fuck just happened right now? I lost myself. I was like, whoa. And basically, I mean, YouTube's copying TikTok and stuff. So they're like YouTube's pretty much millennial to Xer basically. And I would say TikTok's more of the younger generation with some of the younger parts of the millennial generation. Well, they're starting to kind of bring that stuff over here on the YouTube side to make sure that we are just as fast. But there is a problem too. So the reason I'm saying brackish water is because the people that like the boomers and some of the Xers and stuff that are in the equities market that are used to like no gains at all for like a decade, making no money at all. For the most part, they have this kind of like set it and forget it sort of mentality. So it's what's going on is that they're kind of lengthening out and kind of fucking up our timing a little bit. Where some people think shit's coming out fast. It's like the way crypto space was like a little simmer and then dump, right? Now it's starting to be like simmer, little up, and then up, and then down. It's starting to get like you still end up getting the same level of move, except it's just extended out a little bit more. Right. It's a little bit easier to kind of like grasp it and have time to react. Where like if you notice like 2017. It was really just like it was basically two moves, like one in the beginning of the year, and then the summer, and then a little reprieve, and then another big ass 2-month launch and stuff that pretty much like topped out in November, December, and then it was over basically. Then from there it was just kind of like dead cat bounces in a way.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just like just we could make memes on that, like just like slaughtering cats on the way down.
There actually was a game. If you guys ever played Newgrounds, there was like Cat Cannon. Do you guys ever remember that?
No,
yeah. There's like a game where like well, this is so old right here. This is so old. But basically, you have a cannon. You're like, and then you click, and then you shoot a cannon like, and it's a cat.
Dude. Yeah. I've played games like that. There was some game like that here in Japan that was popular a few years ago. You stack cats on top of each other until they fall down on like a tower or something like that. It's fucking hilarious. But
yeah. Don't forget to hit the like button, you guys. And let's see. Let me hear.
What?
Something else. Damn it.
The one thing I wanted to mention, just talking about the history thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this guy's story until recently, but there's a guy named John Manjiro here in Japan. Yeah. Poor bastard, basically he got drifted at sea with his crew and ended up on some island, like out of Hawaii or whatever. Yeah. It took him 10 years to get back to Japan. But it was a very interesting story, and like kind of going into, what we're talking about with how lucky we are to be at this part of history. He ended up all the way in Massachusetts, and got to see how life was. Then they, after some time, they're like, okay, here's some money and some stuff, and go over and make your own way with the gold rush in San Francisco. Went to San Francisco, got hired by some what do you call it? Just some outfit, right? And then he made some gold for them, mined some gold for them and stuff. And then they gave him a check, and it was like $500 or something at that time. Like it's a ton of money, right?
Right.
And he's like, okay. Then he goes out and buys his own picks and shovels, right? Makes his own way. And then this is funny. He didn't go full degen. He was like, once he made like a certain amount of gold, he was like, okay, now I have enough. I shouldn't get too greedy. I should, go back to Japan now. And then he got a ticket, went to Hawaii and then made his way back to Japan. I was like, wow, that's a wild 10 years. But the fact that back then people could, right, first work for an outfit and, make some money more than they would be able to make any other way. Then second, use those profits to get their own equipment and then go mine themselves. It's kind of like, here in crypto, we, basically you can just, buy a computer, right? And if you can't buy a computer, get a job somewhere. They, basically outfit you, and then you get your computer, you get going, and then you make some money, and then you just get out of the rat race and go do what you want to do, So I think, this crypto gold rush, people are like, oh, it's over, right? Like we already had the first 12 years of Bitcoin. That's the most profitable part, which is true in terms of the first asset. But that's a cool thing about the birth and death of all these cycles. Every single time we get a new one coming, right? When we get any of these downtrends are just, a little bit of a burning of the forest and a reseeding, and then, watching the next trends come up and out of it. is huge. And so going back to what we're talking about with DEXs, like, yeah, we didn't understand DEXs 100%. When Binance first came out with their testnet, I started using Binance's testnet, and I was like, I don't really know how centralized or how decentralized a centralized exchange would make a DEX, right? So I was just like, kind of skeptical of it. And then they didn't do anything with it. But I knew, John McAfee had been talking about DEXs as a way to just basically put the middle finger up to the system, because that's the hugest thing that the government can do to try to limit crypto, is limit the on and off ramps, right? Limit how the money gets into crypto. And then by adding stable coins, right, they can then, if everything's pegged to just Bitcoin, right, then money flows into there, that it's harder to kind of push the price down for long periods of time. But now you have other assets like stable coins that people want to jump into, right? They go into those. But with decentralized exchanges, at least what you do is you take the power out of the KYC process, and you put it in the hands of the everyday Joe. And so, and then DeFi is the next thing out of there. Decentralize everything. I think some people, right, in crypto have gone and said like, oh, decentralization is not all that important. It's like, that and it is important to have institutions come in and have new money come in the system, and like have, centralized portions and decentralized portions and stuff like that. It has to, everybody's going to get into it. So you're going to have all these different mixtures, but that could be the camel that breaks the back, one of the straws that breaks the camel's back, in terms of down the road, right? Like you're saying, like maybe at the end of the decade or something, is if stuff becomes overly centralized and overly manipulatable by, the traditional figures, then that's dangerous. What do you think about derivatives being as something that could take down the market down the road?
At some point, yeah. Once they can get the fee, once there's actually it's got to be decentralized, because the thing is it's gonna, if it's not decentralized and it's fully centralized in terms of derivatives and crypto, it will take probably a cycle or two to get enough kind of debt or kind of bad, basically tranches of that that sort of thing for it to really,
like RGT. Yeah, like those kids are going to be the ones doing it in 10 years.
I know, right? That's crazy too. Like they're actually one of the projects that I really do like is something like a Vesper Finance. They're actually making a pool on RGT. So RGT, like what my original thesis on RGT is actually correct. It's like they're actually doing some pretty fucking crazy things. Like basically, here's the problem with like an Aave, right? And Aave is great. But the problem is that Aave, in a way, it has to protect itself, and it can't let like kind of shitty assets or brand new assets onto the platform, right? So, like one asset they could have added is Hex to borrow and lend on pretty easily. Yep. I'm surprised they haven't. That would probably get them so much fucking business, but
political,
just political or whatever, right? But like if something like an RGT, I'm gonna see maybe I could talk to that team. They're looking at maybe like a Hex pool or something for borrowing and lending. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll hit them up and stuff. I got enough. I got enough Hexicans with fucking millions and millions of Hex.
Bump it up, baby. Bump it up.
Yeah, let me just shout out St. Chocolate. They say we're too late to explore the world, too early to explore space, but they forget to mention they were right on time to explore internet lifestyles, baby.
I love it. No, St. Chocolate's a good dude.
Yeah. What's his? Oh, here, Brissology. Here we go. Too late to explore the world, too early to explore space, but born at the right time to lose out on
I like it.
Shit. If it's really late, you guys, just crack open a beer right now.
Baby.
There we go. I'll get one right now. Let me just finish my drink.
Got my premium malts beer, Suntory, baby. Suntory. It is. I don't know what they say in that movie. What is his name?
Suntory.
Suntory. So Suntory is the brand of well, you can't see it because it's like, yeah. So it's like the brand that makes the whiskey or whatever.
Oh, yeah, it is the same brand I'm talking about. Yeah, because I actually have whiskey here. I got their whiskey here. Japanese whiskey. Okay. Japanese whiskey is actually very high quality. I mean, not that I'm surprised, but like usually when you think whiskey, you never think Japanese. You think American, for whiskey.
Yeah, Japanese love brewing. I mean, they've been brewing sake for ages, right? Like Fukushima actually is one of the places that has some of the best sake because had some of the purest water. And Delta, they did after the Fukushima disaster, they didn't stop using Fukushima sake in their airplanes because you can go and you get like a whole bottle. It's pretty dope. Like it helps you go. Like you're just like you're on the plane, you're like, fuck, I just need to knock myself out. All right. You know, like they give you a pretty big dose. But like,
so you're saying that Suntory whiskey's got an extra kick to it?
I'm talking about the sake.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just trolling because of the irradiated water.
But like,
damn, bro, I'm going
So what Delta did, which was hilarious, was they changed it because it said Fukushima sake for the longest time on the bottle, and they just changed it to Japanese sake or something like that. They just said it's from Japan. They just don't say where it's from. But then if you look into, they didn't change their distributors at all. You know. And I thought that was pretty funny. It was just like, yep, nothing to see here.
I actually, like, you want to know something? I think I've told Chalmy Charlie this in private, but a long time ago, I actually was going to manufacture beer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to say the name of it, but basically it was going to be a strong ass motherfucking beer. Like, all right. So either you're either on the right side of the fence where, you know, you're smart and intelligent, and then you're on the retarded side of the fence where you're like, you don't understand, you have no culture, you know? So it's like, I'm very anti IPAs. I don't like IPAs.
A lot of them don't taste good. Like, it's just
they taste bad. And I had somebody from the industry explain to me why they push IPAs so much. Like, and I'll explain, like, you'll lose my number if you like IPAs a lot. We drink hard liquors over here, you know. It's like we take tequila shots, we take fucking whiskey, we go Douce, we go fucking Chardonnay. I mean,
I had a nice margarita with Patron last night with John over at Wolfgang's. That was nice.
Yeah, I gotta go to that restaurant. I heard really good things about that place.
Yeah, it's a nice atmosphere. You know, good steak. You know, overpriced, but you know, it was on John because he owed me one, so I don't care.
Okay, so here's legitimately the reason why they push IPA so much, right? So they already used hops a little bit traditionally in some you know, in beers and stuff, not usually as a main ingredient, just as an additive. Well, what they discovered is, let's just say you have something like a Coors or something like a wheat beer or some sort of wheat beer, something compared to an IPA. What an IPA is, it lasts almost twice as long on the shelf. It has shelf life. That's the real reason right there. That's the real if you want to know why they're pushing IPAs on you, like this brewing stuff, this tradition. You can have tradition on any ingredient. I can make a beer out of yams. Or
hey man, it might not be so bad. It sounds kind of like it could be good.
Yeah. Like abstinence, right? I mean, that stuff just tastes like licorice. Honestly, I've had some before.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking rough.
It's strong. That shit's strong. Like it's like
they still use wormwood in New Zealand, in Australia, I think, for their absinthe. I tried that back in the day. It's fun.
Yeah, the IPA tastes like dirt beer. You see, I'm glad I'm not the only one on this, but there's another reason too. Okay, so this is where it gets conspiratorial, right? Like the first part makes sense, economic sense, right? Yeah, let's push the IPA beer because like what ends up happening, what I've heard, this is how bad you people who do drink a lot of IPAs literally do not even know the difference of the taste between all the IPAs, right? Well, here's one of the other big differences. If a company can't sell all their beer, what they'll do is they'll slap a different label on it. Brand it, same beer, and nobody knows the fucking difference.
I know, it's great.
It's because it all tastes like shit.
Japan are master marketers as well. Like
master marketers.
Oh, they are. They know how to get people to buy money. Like capitalism is one of Japan's strongest suits. Like Japanese people love making money, and so like one of the things that they do, you know, is like every time like there's a new season, because Japanese people are like, oh, like we love seasons, like they're very seasonal, and they do like you know, they always have their kind of like ritual of different events that they do per season. I mean, everybody does in every culture, but Japan like sticks to it like really, really hard.
Yeah.
And like so like all that Asahi does is they literally just change the color and like style of their label on the season. So you'll start seeing like fall leaves, the koyo of Japan, the beautiful fall leaves come onto the cans come like September. And everybody's like, oh, I want to buy that because I want to have in Japanese, they call it funinki, which is just like the atmosphere. I want the atmosphere of, you know, the fall. And it's just like, it's hilarious, you know, how they market it, but it's like, touche.
So I'm in a part of okay. So at least in the wine country part, right? Like, because I have a lot of my family that actually works in wineries and stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm in like Sonoma and
up in like Napa.
Napa. Yep, on all those areas and stuff. Yeah, they run a couple.
Nice.
Yeah, one of my cousins. One of my cousins. He's my older cousin. How old is that motherfucker now? 42. He knows who he is if he's watching. But yeah, he runs like a pretty big winery out there and stuff. Like, he's like the main guy in the grounds.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. He uses like I have like giant bottles of wine to give me. I mean, literally they're like this big and they're huge. But anyway, so there's that. That's like kind of the crown jewel of Sonoma, sort of like that area right there in terms of like prime land for that, right? Well, in terms of that whole atmosphere stuff, right? There's this place called Carmel Valley where like they kind of ditched themselves out a place in the middle of the mountains here in California, here in Central California, or the Central Coast. And basically, it's like illegal. So okay, so you know how like you have to like day drink. I think me and Charlie were talking about this earlier. I asked him like, Charlie, why can't I drink when I wake up? What's wrong with that? Why is that bad?
You'd be looked at as a fucking alcoholic and degen.
Okay, degen I already am already. I mean, sure.
But like the next level where you're like you go homeless.
I mean, if we look on Twitter, I mean, half these dudes look homeless.
Oh, that's great.
But basically, I always got a kick out.
All we need is our moon suit. That's all we need, bro.
Right. I'll sleep on the moon suit, but in terms of hustles and stuff, for like why? I mean, we're going on a big alcohol kick here, but this is pretty cool. But over here, right? Like you need sometimes you know how you're doing like the ambiance and you're doing all that stuff for the Japanese wines and everything. Well, they do that over here too, except it's sort of like this weird thing where like so you see a person like you see people drinking 40s, right? Like you see people drinking these giant 40s and stuff, right? Well,
Edwards 40 hands. That was a good game in college.
Yeah,
you just tape the 40 with your hand.
Yeah, it's like. but it's the whole thing where like everyone wants to get shit faced, but like I got to look prim and proper while doing it. So I find all the white people out here. I find all the white people, all the white ladies, and all the white dudes like, hey, will you guys, Miguel? I just went to a wine tasting. Okay, sure. Like, and they have all these wineries, and like one day it just occurred to me because I have a bunch of clients out there in that area, and I would just drive out there. I was like, man, these motherfuckers are drunks.
Oh yeah,
like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So he was like, of course, a nails, a little purse, walked in there and stuff like, oh, me and my girls went to a wine tasting and everything like that. And like, no, they're just getting shit faced on different wine. That's all it is. They're getting shit faced, but like looking fancy, whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, I went to this brewery tour in Greymouth, New Zealand, when I back in like 2004 or something. And the tour lady, she was like, her job was to give tours of a brewery, right? So she's going to get degen at some point. And she was just like, so here's the first vat where we make this. She was like, all right, let's cut the bullshit. You guys want to get to the free drinking portion? If we like literally run through the brewery and I tell you, okay, this is that, I can get through this in about like 15 minutes, or we can do this for like an hour and then we only get 1 hour of drinking, or we're going to get an extra 45 minutes. What do you want to do? We had like some British people with us, some Americans, and some other people from other places, and we're like, let's do the quick version. Oh man, that was a fun night.
Yeah, that's really
that
cool.
lady does that like probably like every other day. Like I'm like, oof.
But she's a fucking G though for that.
That's that was a fun time,
So okay, now to go back to the original story, which was like why I started talking about making my own beer. So I still have this recipe. It's going to be a very good beer. So I wanted to make something like, because like, why is everyone drinking IPAs for, right? Because they can get you drunk quick. Basically, the IPA, most IPAs start at 7 and then they go all the way to like 16 for like a triple IPA, which I took a sip of once and I
don't think I've ever had that.
It's horrible. Don't ever do it. Like whatever you look at a picture. So here's a really good test. Look at a hipster. Look at a picture of a hipster. It's like, do you want to look like that? No. Don't drink what they're drinking. Real simple, right? Real simple. So so what my thing is, I wanted to make something like, all right, so like, or you have Coors Light and you have all these like kind of like lighter drinks and stuff, Budweisers and all this other stuff, right? So I had something like, it was going to be a red kind of beer, like it's like red rye, almost
like an ale.
like a nail, yeah, sort of a nail and stuff. It was gonna be. My thing was just getting a really good taste to it, refreshing, not sweet, not like not candy or anything like that, but like more like just like a without the bitter taste on it. Except the alcohol level was going to be decent. Like I was looking between 8 to 12% on a can and stuff. So and then Space Dust. I might try Space Dust, but that's kind of what I was trying to do. So in my research of all this stuff, because I was researching because I actually have like a rat spray business. I think I've said this to people. Well, I use a lot of like actual like sort of because so I don't get labeled under that stuff. I have to use a lot of natural kind of agents instead of like I can't use chemicals. Where's my invite? Shit. Can you give John the link?
Yeah. I'm eating Nas food, bro.
But yes. Oh, thank you, Britsology. Yeah. So this is basically where I was going. IPAs are gross, which I 100% agree. Hops give you extra estrogen. That's the thing too. Is hops increase estrogen in males. Whoa, dude. So it's it's constant shit. Like actually, I've done a blood test on myself. I stopped using and like I use very like natural, like I mean this is like I don't want to like there's like a psyop out here and stuff like right where like they've done a psyop on anything that's natural because it's humans attribute something don't read a book by its cover, right? But we always do, right? So it's that I'm on Charlie's Health Patrol. Look at John.
He doesn't want me to die young. He still needs me to make him some money.
Charlie, don't die on me yet.
Funny thing is, he's afraid of flying in airplanes. So he thinks that's the way he's gonna die. I'm like, bro, like
no.
No.
Well, no, I don't think so. I don't know. I hope not. But it's just I've never been afraid of flying stuff. I'm trying to think of what I've been afraid of. White water rafting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I've been rafting before, but they've invited me to like I did a pretty high level ones, and then they invited me to this really crazy ass one, and I was like, bros, not the last one I did got sketched. Like literally, I was like,
oh, really?
My body was like this off the raft, and someone like grabbed me and pulled me back in. Like what?
Oh, that's great.
Dude, it was like, like that. I was like, dude, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I retired, man. I got my 2 championships, and that was cool.
Yeah, quit while you're ahead. I like it.
Yeah. I still want to skydive one of these days. And Charlie's like, no, not yet.
No, you should totally do it. Like skydiving is amazing. I did that in New Zealand and like above Lake Taupo. And that Lake Taupo is like a volcanic. It's a lake that was created by a volcano in the southern part of the North Island of New Zealand. Gotcha. Very, very beautiful. It's like you go through the clouds or whatever, you see like circular rainbows. Mm-hmm. Like because when you see a rainbow, you only see like a portion of it, but like when you're laying down on the cloud or whatever, it's like a full circle. It's pretty cool. But it's less scary than bungee jumping because you are farther from the ground, basically. So like your imminent death isn't quite there. Once you're out of the plane, there's only one way to get to the ground. Versus with bungee jumping, it's like 8 seconds of sheer terror.
Right. I heard people kind of hurt their joints a little bit.
It's not good for you. It's very. My brother popped a blood vessel in his eye. Actually, we did the I think it was the third biggest one in the world. Was the first one I ever went on in New Zealand. It was in Wellington where they did some of the Lord of the Rings movies, and like that was interesting. But if you put your hands to your sides or whatever, you go faster, and you get a little bit more dip. And so he did that, and then he was fine that day. We went on an airplane. Back to the North Island, and the altitude popped a blood vessel in his eye. We were having a layover. I'm like, dude, I think you should check this out. Like your eye is literally bleeding. And he was like, what? And like we got like the fighter truck or whatever took us to the hospital from the airport, and they're like, yeah, it's fine, just a pop blood vessel, just looks terrible. It was because of the pressure of going faster on the bungee jump is really, really bad for a lot of things. I'm sure if you're older, you could probably get a heart attack.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've been on this whole health kick and shit lately too as well. Like, I mean, it's kind of funny how right now we're just talking about beer and fucking like
we're just talking about random shit.
but I mean, this is right now. Like, I mean, it's just like I'm just like literally everything that me and Charlie have been saying is just happening right now, and I'm just kind of sitting back like, yeah, it's just happening. I'm playing the waiting game right now. As soon as it starts to hit and stuff, like we're going to be talking about quite a lot of stuff. But in terms of like EIP 1559 is 100% going to happen May 4th or 5th. I mean, I'm sorry, August.
Yep.
Yeah, around that time. I think John just came in. I'll just wait until he's on camera. But it's pretty surprising. All the cool stuff that's starting to that we've been talking about for a long time actually finally happening. So I expect sort of a pump on ETH probably on the 28th, next Wednesday. Basically, I think what's today? The 24th. Yeah, so the 28th would be next Wednesday. Yeah, would be next Wednesday. So it starts seeing a pump on there and stuff. Nothing massive, but we'll see a little strength in Ethereum. So that's just generally good. The reason I'm mostly talking about it is because it actually kind of helps out the hex price. Because a lot of people it just will make everyone else a little bit wealthier, and dollars can be used to buy up hex, which can make the price go up because it's mostly in USDC. So it's kind of good. So hex has this added benefit of the ETH price. It's not really reflexive towards it, but when ETH really shoots up, when people sell Ethereum into USDC to buy hex, it really can pump hex's price up quite a lot more easily. Where when the ETH prices crash, people are not selling Ethereum to go to dollars to sell hex, so it ends up not hurting the hex price as much.
Nice.
You ready to go or not yet?
Hey, buddy. No, I'm ready. I'm just chilling.
Okay. That golden gorilla, I love it.
Pure gold, like 100% solid gold, right?
Yeah, one of my girls named it Charlie. Look at this. I got some luxury, Charlie. Speaking of gold.
Yeah. Baby, that looks beautiful.
This is so. I've not eaten this in over 2 years. Yeah. This is so rare to get in Japan.
Yeah, you can't even get the instant version in Japan at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where'd you buy it, or did you just have somebody send it to you?
No, I found it in some some international shop. I forgot where I bought it actually.
Yeah, like the Jupiter International shop, they have some stuff that's hard to find at other places.
Yeah. Oh, this was actually in now I remember in Hiro in National Azabu. No, I just saw you guys on. I'm just fucking chilling at home. I went to the gym early and been doing some work, and now I'm breaking my fast and eating some chicken and macaroni and cheese. So decided to say what's up.
Yeah, we were just chilling. There were some people that got the notification that DCC was going live, so they woke up in the middle of their nights. It's 4 a.m. in some places. So we're just chilling, have a little.
Demand is real.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I mean, here's the thing, right? Everybody, we were talking about this earlier in the stream. Everybody watching now not only is here for the long haul and going to make money and get independent wealth in crypto. That's for damn sure. They're some of the luckiest people in human history, right? Are the people paying attention to crypto right now? So, the people that get their panties in a bunch about, this coin's better than that coin, and this we got to get this and that. It's chill, bros. We just got crypto here, and take advantage of it how you want to with whatever tools you're going to do, and make yourself wealthy, and then not have to answer to anybody, right? And basically live your own goddamn life. I think that's the beauty of crypto is there's so many different ways for people to become rich. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, me and Charlie had dinner yesterday, and we were just it was funny how how a lot of the people we know are freaking out in the community. A lot.
Two types of people. The people we know who are in crypto, I would say there's a portion of them who are freaking out, but then there's a good portion of them who aren't. Those are the core members of the Moon Gang. And then there's the people who we don't know the people that we know who aren't in crypto, man, those poor souls.
Oh yeah. Just
watching all the normies, celebrate their 4 days off in a row, where they don't have to answer to their boss. It's some of these things are when you're out of the rat race and you're doing your own thing in crypto, you got to pinch yourself every once in a while, right? And and just be damn, we're fucking lucky.
Yeah.
But
it's
luck
great.
is where preparation meets opportunity. We took the risk, right?
Yeah. The conversation we had at dinner was just I don't know. It's just good. You guys got to remember too, all of us, we've been in this shit for a while now. So we have Like we definitely weren't this calm and collected in 2017 whatsoever.
Right.
Nope.
At all. At
We're more
all, at
like
all.
we're more like the normies who are freaking out sometimes on the prices, right?
Right, exactly. And so with like what's going on now, man, it's Nigerian Don. He's such an asshole. I'm just gonna permanently ban him from this channel.
Don't do that.
Well,
Just give him a timeout and put a dunce camp on him.
again, I mean, I can unban him, but he called me fat. Listen, out of this panel, you calling me fat? That's rich.
Oh,
Oh, that's great.
hey, I'm down 8 pounds already, man. I'm fucking grinding, man. I'm trying to get these fucking pounds off.
Dude, we're team 30-year-old over here, so we're all fucking we're all grinding out. You know?
Circling the trade.
Yeah, it ain't easy out here when you're in your 30s trying to lose that weight.
Yep.
But I've been living in the gym. But no, but yeah, like just with 2017 and what was happening then versus what's going on now, you know, there's just so much more clarity this time around. And I the biggest thing I just tell people is like, so you just really think like the use case for crypto, people are just going to be like, yep, you know what? We're just going to trust the Federal Reserve. we're just going to trust the government. We gave this crypto thing a run, but hey, you know what? We're just gonna take this one up the rear in the meantime.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? It's like when you have the option of self-sovereignty versus not. Like you give people the tools to become free, and they choose to stay enslaved. That's wild to me.
Yeah, dude.
That's wild.
You know, I was thinking about this earlier. Like, I remember when I used to want to lose weight. Literally, all I have to stop doing is eating chips, and I would just lose hella weight. Like, I would just slim down.
Like we were like 22, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was like 19, 22 and stuff. So I'd be like 20 pounds overweight, and I was like, all right, I'll just stop eating hot Cheetos, and then I just
that's so Mexican of you. Just
I know. I was a Cheeto fiend, man. God.
Yeah,
damn.
hot Cheetos are nice.
I love it. Now they have even worse for Cheetos now, which is like Takis. Those things are like
Dude.
crazy.
Dude,
Those things are like
crack
fuck.
cocaine.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
John
yeah,
introduced those to me. That was fucking good.
I ordered this
Of
off
course.
Amazon. Off Amazon. You know what this was? This was
No.
$12.
What?
Yeah, $12.
Oh
Hey,
man, I
that's
gotta do some arbitrage over there, man.
Yep.
Dude, I'm surprised. No, I mean, can no one just make an import in like a wet import business?
There are
Hard, but it's just people like no one really has capitalized that part of the market here. Quite frankly,
yeah. There's a lot of people I met when we were doing headhunting. You know, the people who are like, oh, I'm a foreigner and I do like my own business or whatever. A lot of them were doing car import export stuff, but to be able to do that, there's a lot of regulations. So it's that kind of ruins some of the.
Japan is the land of red tape.
Yeah, exactly. So it ruins some of the profit that you can make on it. But I mean, there's people who do that. Like one of my friends, he's working at like a Amazon or whatever, but like on his side hustle or whatever, he does arbitrage of like Chinese cosmetics coming into Japan, because like there's a huge like price gap. Like when that stuff comes from China, it's super cheap, and you can sell it here in Japan for like tons on Amazon apparently. So.
Hey, I mean, literally, that. Do you want to know our boy, fucking from FTX, how he made how he really got rich? Was like he arbitraged the kimchi premium over here in Japan.
Yeah, that was an interesting story.
Right? Yeah, because he couldn't do Korea because it was too hard. He said Japan was easier, but like literally, he had a line of people. So he had 12 people in a Japanese bank, all in line with each other. So at certain portions of the line, so they could like keep hitting it every 30 minutes, like that.
I love it.
Because it would take 25 minutes to process everything in 3 minutes. They had it down to like that, right? They're like 22 minutes in line. It'll take this much time to process it. Then it'll hit the account, and then you have to send the next person next in the queue. Just imagine that cluster. Well, I don't really believe him on that, if I'm being honest. I think what he was really doing, I think that what he was saying was to protect his ass. What I really think he was doing was he was buying it all OTC and then taking it on a plane flight back. Yeah, because that's the simplest way to do it. You just
Well, you just put it on a centralized exchange, and then you don't even have to put it on, like, you don't have to carry any device with you.
No, but that's where they're having the problem. Is it's the whole case of doing it, because you might not be allowed to. Because you wouldn't be allowed to, like, you have to have a lot of context to have the Japanese exchange. I don't know. It seems to me like the easiest way to do it is like if you were just a smaller operation and you may have like $5 million. Obviously, you're not saying doing this, but like, let's just say it's my hypothetical situation.
You can mute them if you want.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is it too loud? I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's like after a little while, like, you know.
Yeah, but it's this whole thing where like you just take $5 million to Japan. You would just buy off an exchange or OTC from somebody, even if you paid them 5% extra. Who cares? Boom, you just take that on a Trezor or something like that, or Ledger, and then you fly back, or just give, if you have a secure way to give someone the keys, or they know them already in the States, then they just and you're just their contact. You're only flying back to get cash, really, or if that. That's the way you do it. But the way he was doing it was kind of just. I think it was kind of bullshit. I think that was just from the media. I bet you he did it a couple times, but knowing how efficient he is, like literally what he just said is 1,000 times more efficient than like what that dude's talking about. So I don't know what the hell. That's insane, you know? Two dudes talking crypto, one dude making mac and cheese. Have you tried Velveeta before? Yeah, Velveeta's good.
I'm grilling. I'm just, like I said, I've been fasting all day. It's like 4:45. I hit the gym this morning, fasted training 2 hours, and I just had this box of macaroni and cheese. I'm grilling some chicken as well. I just wanted to come on and say what's up, talk about, whatever we were talking about.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy going down, because I'm from Miami. It was crazy, like driving past, it used to be American Airlines Arena, and I'd see this fucking FTX Arena. And that's like, when I saw that in Miami, I was like, this shit is fucking happening.
Yep.
Not that I already did. Not that I had doubts, but I was just
of course.
But yeah, the only downside of that idiot is he donated a fuckload of money to Biden. What a loser!
Well, you know why he's doing that too, though.
Yeah, he has to grease the wheel. You got to get political influence. Yeah.
Get on their good side. Don't close me down is basically what he's asking.
He shouldn't be afraid. I mean, I think pandering to politicians is the worst thing. Like, don't go full Silk Road and be like, "Fuck you guys," but.
Yeah, well, he's not doing it in a decentralized fashion. He's doing it in a centralized fashion, so they can shut his ass down like that if he gets on their bad side, right?
Right. And it's technically not even really an American company just yet, because he kind of started in like this weird islands. Like it's based out of some islands or something.
Bahamas
some shithole named Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, maybe. I mean, but basically, he's somewhere in the Caribbean. Is like it's based out of there. And
that's where I'm from, right, Miguel? My mom.
Yeah, I know.
He's like that.
For all the fucking the SJWs watching.
Oh, you're canceled now, John. You're canceled.
I mean, I'm allowed to say fucking beaners. Like,
yeah,
white.
I am too. I'm brown enough to do that.
Yeah. I mean, the way I made my money originally was like I was a Mexican landscaper named Miguel. I mean, the only thing worse in the world, more fucking stereotypical, is my name was like Jose Sanchez.
Miguel is pretty Mexican. Jesus. Yeah, Jesus too.
Jesus, right. But yeah, no, I'm accepting that. Everybody, there's a lot of other places where like they have this whole thing where like there's like huge feud between like so if you said someone's black or African. No, I'm from Africa. These are the like. There's actually like some shit where like dudes from like Nigeria or anything like that. They think they're much better than the American black people that are born here. And I was like, really? I don't know about that, homie.
Well, it's kind of like the Japanese thinking they're better than the Chinese. Like,
yeah. Well, I kind of agree.
They're kind of right.
But I mean, dude, there's been this post. Obviously, you guys can talk about this more than I can. But there's like these posts in the Japanese recently because it's like, how the Japanese kind of copied the K-pop stars. There's like the whole K-pop thing or whatever. All these dudes doing this shit. They all have the same haircut and the bowl haircut. Like the pretty boy shit. And then Japan's been doing that as well. And then people this was okay.
Well, it looks nice.
Yeah, it almost looks like steak.
Grilled chicken.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just grilled chicken, a little bit of macaroni and cheese. That's it. Have a protein shake later, not eat.
Yeah.
Ethiopian people don't think they're black. What?
Ugh.
Dude,
This
I told
reminds me of Starvin' Marvin.
I told this one black friend of mine here from Africa. He's Nigerian. I was like, "Hey man, where are you from? Like, you from Uganda or something?" He's like, "I'm from Nigeria." He's like, "Don't you ever compare me to those dirty Ugandans?" I was like, "Whoa, dude! Like, I didn't know that was people are racially hate each other across the planet.
Yeah,
Like, I know this whole like racing in America's thing, but like honestly, America's like the least racist country in the world.
Yeah.
Like I have a black friend who's in Georgia right now, like the country of Georgia, and he says he just gets treated like shit because he's not Georgian.
In the UK, right after they lost that the whatever that game was against Italy, right? That cup thing. There's a subset of people who went after everybody because they weren't white. I was just like, Jesus Christ, like that's fucking ridiculous. But like no, it's like in Minnesota, Wisconsin, like it's the same fucking state. Like there's not really a huge difference, right? But we're like, screw all those cheeseheads. They like the Packers, right? Like they like the fudge Packers. So
if somebody put you guys in a lineup, I'll be like, I can't tell the difference.
Oh, zero difference. But like, it's like, we all go deer hunting and all that stuff. But it's just like, it's just you got to take jabs at it's also a geographical thing. I think people like they're like they always have to have somebody to fight and some tribe to be a part of, right?
Yeah. You need a boogeyman.
Yeah.
Do you want to know some shit? You remember the El Salvador stuff? Because all right, like I'm Mexican, but like we know Latino. We kind of classified everyone that's being like kind of brown skin as Latino, basically.
Yeah.
So it is a family. It's like yeah, you're Latino, bro. We're all on the same team, basically, right? And I think it's a lot more kumbaya than I would say with like the Africans and the Black Africans, or God damn it, the Africans and like the African Americans. Where I think like a lot of the other, basically if you're brown, you're in the club, like, yo, what's up, homies? Cool. Here, at least for all the Mexicans and all the Trinidadians, but there's actually people that like they think they're their own race or they don't want to be Latino or something like that. There's all that jazz. But dude, when I
like
heard
Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa. When I heard all this bullshit about El Salvador, I was like, oh my God, dude. And like when I heard people trying to move into El Salvador, I was like, you dumb motherfuckers. Like I'm like when I saw these white fucking dudes in Bitcoin saying like I'm moving to El Salvador, I was like, you guys are fucking stupid. It's so dangerous. I know so many Salvadorians, like the horror stories of shit that getting away from that country. They killed more people than exist right now in that country. Right? Like the reason there's no people in that country is because everyone fucking left. Like it's so like it wasn't a thing where like they lost like it was like a Bitcoin. If you look at the chart of population, it went they like 85% of people exit scam their country. Just left.
Wow.
Like that bad. That's how shit El Salvador is and stuff. Like
so speaking of divisions, what's gonna be the narrative between the Hexicans and the Pulsinators?
I mean the Hexicans are the master race, but like but like you can tell
Pulsinators are the bastard
already. Because the Hexicans are, we're more brainwashed and shit, and we're more hodlers and stuff. We're like the Pulse. I'm getting a lot of it's a lot of noobs in Pulse, like right now.
Are we gonna call them the Pulsinators or like what do we call these guys?
Pulse plebs? I don't know. Well, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to come up with a name for Pulse. I mean, it's all kumbaya for now until like. But there's going to be eventually like
there's always somebody who defects and is like, this is the true,
yeah, exactly,
Bitcoin and shit like that,
Yeah, it's all kumbaya right now, but it is funny though. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in Pulse that are going to be kind of butthurt that a lot of Hexicans own a lot of the coins actually. Just the way it is, because if 80% of the money that's been sacrificed has been Hex money, nothing else. There is a lot of other money that's come in, but like I would say about 100 million is outside of Hex. The rest of it is Hex.
Nice.
So it's like, there's going to be some big kind of whales and stuff. But the one thing that I grew up on, I like there used to be that really whole like thing where like Latinos would kind of hate other Latino groups, and it kind of died down in the early 2000s. Really, like before because they used to be some gang shit, back in the day where like. The Mexicans would be here, and then you got the Salvadorians, and you got the people from this place and that place and everything. But dude, I've like you can even ask Salvadorians this, man. Like, dude, they fucking can't drink to save they're horrible alcoholics. They can't handle liquor at all. It's really bad. It's like really bad. Like it's something in the genes or something. Like the worst alcoholics are always Salvadorian.
Whoa,
At
interesting.
least where I'm from and stuff, like I've seen it. Like it's kind of crazy. It's like they can't it's something. It must be something in the genes. They can't process alcohol very well. I think that's what it is.
Interesting.
Like you saw it with some Native Americans as well, where like they same thing.
You see that with different parts of Asia as well. Like the Koreans, man, they drink. Like the Koreans, man, they know how to drink.
Remember,
Bro, that is super true.
Yeah.
Trans white. Oh, God.
Good old Liam.
You and Donovan Sharp.
Oh, shit. We'll be saying $100 pulse. Dude, if we get $100 Celsius. Oh, I think they said pulse.
2014.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, but it'd be late this year. It's not going to be right now. We have to have the IPO or the equity, the Series B equity raise for Celsius before we start seeing huge price increases, because basically what Celsius is doing, Celsius is essentially copying Hex and a little bit with Pulse Chain. And this is a way for them to get rid of a bunch of liquid supply of Celsius so the price can pump.
I like it.
I know a lot of the people in the OG, some of the big groups inside of Celsius that have been divesting out of their Celsius position. Dumbasses. But like, it just is what it is. Like, I mean, just weenie head generals. Like, I know a lot of them that are probably holding half as much as they used to have. So that means for them, that means half the Celsius is saving a bunch of money on that. And what's going to happen is, now that they divested themselves 50% of the original Celsius position, then on top of that, then their Celsius in the app is going to allow you to buy equity with Cell Token. So it's like, what's going to happen is it's going to be the old switcheroo. You're going to get equity. Equity will pay you later, but not now. But later, Celsius token pays you now.
Every Monday, baby.
So what's going to happen is people are probably going to end up with, like, all right, let's just say they sold 50% already, and then they're going to probably buy another 20% of that. So they're going to be left with a third of their original position in Cell Token. So I mean, just off the riff, off these whales, like pretty much the price could 3x comfortably and be paying the same amount of money that are paying for that. So the sell price could be like $20 basically.
Say it again.
So I'm saying, like, some of the biggest whales, there's always a couple whales that don't ever sell, but most guys from, like, I would say top 40 down to top 500 are probably been divesting themselves out of Celsius, and Celsius has been the one coin that hasn't bled for them. If they weren't in Hex, they've been using Celsius to then buy stable coins, because they've been everyone's acting like a little pussy right now.
I know.
Real.
Yep. And as we can, paper toilet hand people. Yeah.
Right. So this is a way for Celsius to get rid of that. And on top of that, with the equity raise, a cash infusion of a lot of money. A lot of money. They're also going to be allowed to be in the United States. Guess what? Like, because all the deals that Celsius is doing, notice how BlockFi got kicked out of New York, out of New Jersey.
Yes.
Guess who didn't? Celsius didn't.
Wonder
why? Celsius did the deal with the devil.
Hey man, New Jersey, man, they're gangster, right? They just go and whack. What's it called again? I even forgot. You just said it. God damn it. BlockFi, yeah, let's go whack some BlockFi dudes, right? Whack Zach Prince and like make Celsius King Kong here.
Well, BlockFi is going to be interesting, because I think BlockFi goes public before Celsius does, and I think that's what Celsius's plan is. I just hope they're not gambling it too much. I would rather Celsius go first than BlockFi, honestly. But because if Celsius goes IPO, if Celsius IPO is, oh my fucking god, the Cell Token. Oh, disgusting.
Definitely 100% rooted towards my bipolar brother that used to.
What are you
shit out of me
listening
when I was
to?
younger and almost killed me.
I thought I was fucking muted.
Nope.
just playing Oni-chans in the background.
That's good. That's good.
Mistake. Damn, I thought I was fucking muted. Boomer alert.
That's funny.
Yeah,
But it's nice to see that the markets kind of gave a little bit of a turnaround right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like a low income. It came in there. It's awesome, bro. Like right on schedule. Day 61 of the Bitcoin 60-day cycle. Price go up. Everybody freaking out. You know, should have been buying more.
Yeah. I bought a good amount of Ethereum the past days. I bought some cool stuff. I actually I bought what did I do? I bought Hex at like 7 cents when it crashed. I bought like 20 G's. I sold half of it and bought ETH with it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Free money.
Yeah, free money. Yeah, I got myself
Yeah.
what was it, like 8 ETH or something. Yeah, 8 ETH.
Nice.
Yeah.
Free money.
Yeah. I mean, like literally out here, all these crybabies are saying, price go down, like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I understand it because, like we said, we were there in 2017, right?
Leave Eric Jargo alone.
You said it, not I. No, there's these, I understand it. Like when you're first in the market and you're like, okay, I'm just learning this. It's my first rodeo. And here's the thing is like the people who are like got in between February and now I'm like, okay, they kind of have the right to, freak out a little bit. Like I understand that 100%. But the people who basically have been in to basically since September onwards, like $10,000 Bitcoin, right, during those times, like they have no reason, to be crying, basically. I think like you're still, the Bitcoin's still up 3x. Like, oh my God, like I started with 20K, I went to 100K, now I only have 60K or whatever, just whatever the storyline is. It's like, oh my gosh, woe is me. It's like you're still in profits, chill, bro. And like some of these guys, they're just like, oh, what if price goes back down to 10K, then I'm at a break even. I'm like, like most of the market, back in like 2018 was like 90% underwater, for like a year, and still didn't have toilet paper hands to sell their crypto, right? Yeah. So it's one of those things where we just gotta know why you're in this game and then, stick it out. And, there's some people who are like, but I want to make every single move that's exactly right and make the most amount of money possible. It's like, yeah, you can make some of those moves, right? But you're not going to make every single one. Impossible. Like anybody who says they know exactly what's going to happen in crypto and has played their cards perfectly the entire time they've been in crypto is basically bullshitting, right? It's like, there's nobody, not even Sam Bankman-Fried, nobody. Like everybody's, gone through trials and tribulations to get where they are. And you have to take those bumps along the road. Otherwise, I think the people who get like things handed to them on a silver platter here in crypto, if they do, make some money, those are the guys who are going to lose it the most because they got the riches easily. And then when, when things go down or when they get surprised by something, they're going to just freak out. And, you got to have bumps and bruises early. It's easy. It's better to have like a negative experience sooner rather than later, so that what to prepare for and what to shield yourself against, basically. Because the longer and longer it takes before you have a negative experience in crypto, the more likely you are to mess it up, I think.
Right. I mean, I know a lot of people who got rich really quick in Celsius, or got rich really quick on Hex, or got rich really quick on Chainlink. That are like,
yep.
You have those shaky hands, man. They got the arthritis hand. I've seen this for a lot of coins, like a lot of coins. Like I know one guy with Aave and stuff that made a lot of money off of Aave and stuff. Same thing. They're like pretty fucking scared about everything. Like it's just like they got rich. It's like you got rich quick. It's like they won the lottery almost in a way.
Right.
Well, yeah. That's because they joined the crypto mindset course, and you guys basically gave them the crypto cheat codes, and like the reason we can we have diamond hands and we can hold on to stuff is because to get as competent as we are, we lost a lot of money.
Yeah,
and we had to go through a lot.
Yeah,
we had to go through a lot of trauma, and like 2018, I almost killed myself. It was just so bad after that bull run, and then the Rona crash was pretty bad too. That really, really affected me. Yeah. But then, with the comeback in summer from then, I've just been like, even now, I'm down like hundreds of thousands of dollars right now. And I'm not shaking at all. Cause I know we're not playing a game. This is not like a Monopoly or Warcraft or anything like that. Like this is a currency that is going to change the world, and there is no stopping it. We're just here very early, so we have unsurety. We were worried about regulation, worried about all this crap, but the growing incompetence of governments growing knowledge of people realizing that government issued money, fiat, is worthless.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and the overtaxation as well. Like this
Yep.
is just not, this is just amplifying the spread of the cryptocurrency revolution. That's all it is.
Yep. Yeah, and it's going to be. I mean, I think each bull and bear market, right? The bull market, in terms of percentage gains, will be less. For each crypto, the longer it survives, like that's just kind of how crypto matures. And then each bear market will also be softer, right?
Right.
So if you've been here in the 2018 bear market, is this really a bear market?
Except that 29 crash.
Say it again. To which one?
Except for that 29 crash.
29.
Yeah, the big one, the Black Monday, like the you know what I'm talking about, right? The end of the
1929.
Yeah, the 1929.
Oh,
crash.
okay. Yeah, right. I thought you were referring to something in crypto. Okay.
Yeah.
I got
At some point, we will. You're right. The volatility will go down. Basically, I don't expect the volatility to go down on Hex, though. I think it's
a new asset.
It'll keep repeating the 70% corrections forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you think forever?
I think the way it kind of works is because people just get they'll because someone always buys the tops, they'll end up selling it, and because the liquidity is low, it's intrinsically lower. Like right now, like liquidity wise, I think there's like 24 million bucks on liquidity. Maybe 30 million if you add everything else.
But it's just its first cycle, right? Like you don't think in the next cycle that would get dampened a little bit with more liquidity comes into the market.
That pool has to keep growing. So maybe over a couple of years it'll go to 60, 80, 100 million. But then it depends on how much people are dumping as well. So during
in a bear market.
In the bear market and stuff, so it can crash very badly. But that's when you buy. Like that's literally when you buy. Like if I saw like today, or let's just say Ethereum just crashed to 1400. I'm jumping in like a flying squirrel.
Exactly.
You get to pick up the meats, you know what I mean? Or like if I saw Hex, like I didn't hesitate. I only had like 20 G's on me on that count when I was awake at the time when Hex dropped to 7 cents. I just chucked it all in. My other money it got a fucking failed transaction. I'm so mad about that. It sucks. But that's why I tell people to be ready if you're gonna trade something or you're gonna do something on Uniswap. You got to have your money on your wallet. You got to be charts up. You got to have everything you got to be paying attention, and you got to be prepped to success, basically.
Yeah, I haven't tried Hex on Matcha, but was there any issues with limit orders on Hex and Matcha?
No, I mean I don't know.
Oh,
you gotta go. Okay, later, dude. Yeah, I had the I don't know the Matcha because I caught that dip on Uniswap. So I did Uniswap, caught the $20,000 at 7 cents. It was like 7.8 or something like that. Caught that, boom. But the other, I did a Matcha order for 10 Gs because I had another $10,000 in USDC on some other wallet. I went on that one. That one failed for some reason. I don't know why, but that's just what happens. Because if you're buying like that small of amount, it just goes through Uniswap. It doesn't actually route you out until you start getting
Gotcha.
It's the same thing 1inch does as well. It's just an aggregator.
Yeah. What do we got the chat saying?
Only world peace could stop crypto.
Okay.
Matcha airdrop. I hope a Matcha airdrop, man. I've been referring as a motherfucker to Matcha. Matcha. You want to know something that's crazy? The Hex transactions are 2/3 of the volume on Matcha.
Oh, interesting. That is interesting. That's very similar to early days of Uniswap, then, huh?
Right. We're the largest user of Matcha.
So basically, what you're saying is a lot of these decentralized exchanges, they just basically get liquidity from the hexagons, right? And then they can grow and survive and then thrive after that. That'd be great.
And then they kick
great model.
And then they fucking ignore us afterwards.
That sucks.
That's what they always do, dude. It's really fucked up. Like at least with Uniswap, they gave us a nice amount of a scratch. They did personally. I think I had 6 wallets with Uniswap airdrops on them. And then I got a bunch of people, anyone that I did, a bunch of people from the original crypto mindset course got some, at least I think a quarter of them ended up getting the airdrop. But I think when we did the course, it just happened. Just happened. Yeah. Or it was it just happened. So anyone who had used Uniswap before is have you used Uniswap? Yeah. One time, even if you did a fail, what I like what Uniswap did, even a failed transaction, you tried it, it failed. And you're like, fuck this shit. They still gave you 400 coins. That was
nice.
That was
That is
cool.
nice.
Not like greedy ass, fucking annoying ass, fucking 1-inch. I use 1-inch all the time. Didn't get the airdrop. That was such horse shit. I'm so mad about that.
Yeah, they fumbled the ball on that hard. Like they're just these exchanges. It's like, you know, the whole point of the airdrop is to reward people for using your platform, and so like, you know, you reward these guys but not these guys, and you
Right.
put too much fine print on it, and it's not going to be a good marketing tactic. You know, you gotta just like make it rain.
Are there differences in exchanges that match in 1-inch aggregate from? No. I mean, well, yeah. Well, let's see. Possibly there might, like on the fringes, there might be like maybe one doesn't use like what's it called, a Bancord, the other one does, maybe like that one. But what I think the only difference between 1-inch and that is like I think Matcha uses 0x as well. It's powered by 0x. So Matcha.
It's good to see somebody using 0x, because I had a lot of hope in that, you know, for a while, and I'm just like, when's this technology actually going to get used?
Right. It kind of felt like Cosmos is the winner out of those two, because you had 0x and Cosmos coming around the same time, and it looks like 0x. I mean, Cosmos kind of won basically.
Yeah, 0x was the loudest for a long time, and then Cosmos just came out of nowhere and said like, zoop.
Yeah, to me, it like 0x is going to have a shine next cycle. With the more if you get in a more sort of U.S. involved world or like regulation world, I think 0x is going to do pretty well, because at that point they can start releasing, because like the whole thing with 0x, why I even bet on it a little bit back. This is even back in 2017, was that it was basically the people who made the NASDAQ were behind 0x, and it looks like to me like that was 0x was going to be the place where you could trade stocks or in crypto token form. So I was like, wow, that's going to be gigantic. Wow, that's going to be crazy. So, but they haven't done it yet. But at some point, that's why I always kind of still keep that in the back of my mind. Like every time I look at the charts, or the price points, or on CoinMarketCap sites, I always look at 0x for a second. I'm like, what's it doing?
Yep.
Yeah,
it's definitely keep on moving and building stuff. So good for them.
Right. RH said Matcha enriches our bots for limit orders. 1-inch doesn't. Not that. No, that's the other way around. I thought that was the other way around. You sure about that, T-Bird? I swear I heard the other way. It was basically 1-inch. The way it works is 1-inch. The 1-inch kind of steals your, like, if there's you know how you have slippage tolerance. Like 1-inch will always give you the best price, but then they'll take a little bit of that slippage.
Yeah,
and that's how they make money. Where Matcha gives you the whole slippage. So that's why you get more. That's why you get more coins on Matcha, regardless.
I like that.
They don't take that. Yeah.
What in MetaMask? What do they do with Metaswap? They take like everything.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, for Uniswap. Yep. I hope so. If they do that, Matcha is going to get big, because that's what people love to Uniswap to this day. Like, I will say this: like, the Uniswap token is pretty shit right now, because some of the stuff they were.
It's actually held up in terms of price. Yeah. It's held up, but in terms of fundamentals,
fundamentals. Yeah, I'm just talking about fundamentals, not price. Yeah, it's held up very well, because the one thing, if that $10 million, like of the money they're spending right now, that we're bitching and promoting about them spending on what is it called, on legislators or what do you call those people, lobbyists?
Right.
If they end up getting a positive lobby out of it, like Uniswap is exempt from this and this, it's allowed in the United States, that token's going to go like that green dildo up.
I always kind of think it's like, it's like if you were able to have a token, like, for most people, they weren't able to get into the Series A or B round for Coinbase, back in the middle of the last decade, right? Because, you have to be an accredited investor, blah, 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 blah. But for your everyday Joe, even though it's a governance token, you can still, in a way, have some sort of exposure to the platform itself. If the platform does well, the token's going to do well. It's not equity in the company or in the organization by any means,
right?
But it is still, access to, a platform that I think is going to grow just as well as Coinbase. We're going to have a lot of decentralized exchanges which win out here, and Uniswap already has the network effect, being the first one that had big success. So, that's what I'm betting on with the Uni token specifically.
Yeah. What was it going to be? Yeah.
Win airdrop.
Motley got wrecked on that. My boy Motley. Whoo!
Does he talk about it? Or?
And he talks about it. Yeah, he talks
Okay. I was going to say, you don't want to tell.
Not like saying he got not wrecked on it, but he did a stupid amount of wallets. Stupid. I did a couple myself. I didn't go that crazy with it. This is the same thing. This is why in the courses when we're talking, I think it was mostly quarter two, we were telling people about the airdrops. We had a webinar on airdrops that I said within reason, 2-3 wallets, sure. Don't like you, but you try to make money off your coins, not off of just like getting free. Like very few people, the people who got the most coins on the Uniswap airdrop were already like they're providing liquidity for a lot of people, like for a while, you know.
So did he make multiple accounts within one private key address, or did he make multiple wallets with different private key addresses?
They did different private key addresses.
Ooh, wow, he went full force, yeah.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I literally got like I've got quite a few, not quite a few, but I've got like 8 wallets.
Yeah, that's a good chunk.
That's a good chunk. So I was prepared, and I was like, cool, because like I knew I fuck with MetaMask heavy. I really do like MetaMask. It's my favorite wallet. It really is. Like if I recommend a wallet to anybody, I'll recommend MetaMask before I'll recommend a Ledger Trezor.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it is very useful. It's one of those things. You know, for the most part, it's been very, very secure. I like it more than Ledger. Trezor, I like Trezor though.
Yeah, Big John's right here. This is the stuff that Uni was going to add later. They're going to add some sort of a way to generate yield and generate money. Like that token, that fee that they're going to generate, half that money should have actually gone to actually buy up Uniswap token that could have been paid in pools and stuff, but they haven't enacted yet. So like at any point, Uniswap V3 can activate the fee instantly, but they haven't yet. They've kept it at 0. So at some point they're probably going to wait for things to get pumpy, like really pumpy, and then I wouldn't be surprised with the legislation. Then I think the legislators are going to go hard on crypto for a little bit, and you'll hear something like, you know what? But Uniswap is exempt from this. They've shown this, and there's going to be some fucking payola shit with Uniswap. Then Uniswap token is going to go up, and then they'll launch the fee on top of that, creating a yield. I know they're going to do some fucking crazy like. Because I did the math on all this stuff already. Like it should have hit $120 to $160. That's what it. But we got the correction down and stuff. The market getting cut.
Hey man, so many things in crypto are undervalued right now. It's ridiculous. It's like, and the fact that people are so bearish about that. That's why I just laugh at it now. Like it's just like we had that one email that I showed you the other day talking.
Oh right. Yeah.
Saying scum gang. You know, it's just like this shit makes me laugh just because it's like, man. You know, like some people just take the freemium version, never pay for one of our services, and then like take everything we say literally at face value without doing their own research and then get butthurt about it. And it's like, I think, you got a little bit more work to do on yourself, but like I laugh at those people because like it's dirt cheap prices right now. It's a fantastic buying opportunity. You got people freaking out, it's hilarious.
Like Rainier's Barbosa's like avatars exactly how the whole market is right now. Look how all bruised up and bleeding.
Yep, time to buy.
Yeah, that Oracle is also coming as well. That they're working on it actually, and that's huge because this is the first time like a major entity inside of Ethereum's bucking against a Chainlink. I think Chainlink rubbed basically the founder, what's his name, Vitalik, the wrong way. They started putting their oracles on a lot of other blockchains now for Chainlink, and I think that really pissed off Vitalik. So they're going to start, and so Uniswap's going to run on its own oracle away from Chainlink.
That's good. We should have just as we should have multiple dexes, we should have multiple oracles.
Right.
Like the more the better. The more decentralized we get in each of these types of services, the better, because then it's the same with stable coins, right? The whole narrative of Jim Cramer saying Tether could be the Achilles heel of cryptocurrency. Get the fuck out of here, right? Like maybe in 2017, 2018, right, when it was the only stable coin that had any value, right, that people were using. Okay, yeah, I could see where people were really concerned about its backing and all that stuff. But now that you have like a ton of stable coins with plenty of liquidity, right, there's not going to be like one central point of failure when it comes to that part of the cryptocurrency world. So you lose. It's like, I think we talked about this before, but like it's like when you lose confidence in stuff, like it's like BitMEX for a while was the only major what do you call it? Fucking leverage exchange. Yeah, people were like, oh man, there's some shady shit going on behind there. So like if that goes down, that could be a really black eye for crypto. And then, we have a bunch of other exchanges come up and, and ready to pounce on when that one goes down. And, the regulars went after that one hard. Didn't affect crypto 1 minute.
Yeah.
That was in October and the price just went up from there. It was like, It's like somebody's like, let's go after these guys. Oops, my fucking mic. Let's go after these guys, and the market will go down, and then like the market just goes up, and they're like, your powers have no effects here.
What Weber's saying right here. How do you say the last name? Weber, then
I think you put an extra E in there. I've only seen it as Weber Welbert before, so he's Weber Wellabert. I don't know.
But any thoughts on Uniswap stopping some coins to the website? Okay, so remember what I just said right now. They're doing payola. They're getting. That means, so what's going on right now is that Uniswap's talking to the government, and the government, they probably have a proposal for Uniswap. They're going to add protections, but I bet you what ended up happening is it's like turning in your rough draft, and the teacher gives you a couple of hey, add this and this in there, like change this notes on your essay. I bet you was like, okay, we'll let you in the States and we'll let you do this, we'll protect you and stuff, but you need to get rid of this and this and this. This is what Uniswap's doing right here. I don't think a lot of people put that together. The reason Uniswap's doing this is because right now they're seeking asylum in the United States to protect them against regulation that we know that's coming in the States at some point. So Uniswap's kind of like front running it to make sure that they don't get like clapped out of it. So Uniswap, if you look into what coins Uniswap mostly took off, it was pretty much all synthetics and Aave coins, which were derivatives of stocks. It was just
right, and Binance took those off of their exchange as well.
Right. So it's not too bad. I mean, where I would get creeped out if they were taking down like Hex and taking down a bunch of random like RC20 tokens. Like, what?
Yeah, if they were sniping specific projects, that'd be bad news, right?
Yeah, but I can kind of understand. I can understand the old like you're buying a token on Uniswap that's basically Tesla, but it's not really backed by Tesla. I can understand that.
It should be fine.
Yeah.
I think eventually the crypto market will have that. There's going to be. I mean, that's the thing with Ethereum. It's not, it's not a perfect system, right? And it's not like as decentralized as we would hope it to be. And so you're going to have, and whenever you have faces with like Vitalik and stuff, they have somebody that can go squeeze, wrench gang, and when there's somebody that they can go affect, there's always going to be, some failure on that. So, or some, weakness there. So, that's the power of, Bitcoin specifically, right? And why Bitcoin needed to be anonymous when it came out was simply just because every single digital currency or eCash or whatever that tried to come out before it was squeezed. Adam Back made Hashcash back in the 90s. Nope, can't do that.
Yep.
Right. So. But yeah, so now that crypto's out of the bag, though, they can't stop it. So it's good.
It's definitely good, but it is interesting to see all the stuff they're doing. Like what was it? So they're sucking SCC cock to get into the American market. Yep, basically.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta. It's like, well, if you're in the, I don't know. I was trying to think of a funny prison analogy, but I'll just stop there.
Wrench gang, baby. Shit. That's the whole thing when I heard about like people saying like, oh, Richard's gonna rug one day, bro. All right. So if you look at the original Hexagon community, right, there's so many people that are ex-military in the Hexagon community. It's like literally like RG3, Motley, like Hexo. I mean, if you like almost all the OGs in the YouTube community. I was one of the few people that wasn't in the military. Like all of them are Army Marines, and then you got Motley Navy. But like you got,
that was good.
And then you like Air Force. Like
when we got a Hexagon from Space Force, that's what I want to know.
Oh, dude, that's so cool. I mean, you gotta give Trump that, man, dude. That was so cool. Space Force. I was hella down for that. I was like, fuck.
That sounded fun.
That sounded cool as hell, man. I was like, I want to be part of Space Force.
Be a part of Space Force. Go with the Star Wars program.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that'd be so dope if they had a Power Rangers unit. I mean, like on the special forces are called the Power Rangers.
Hey, man, Kimberly was hot.
It was cool, man. Dude, they got ripped off so bad on that because like I've watched documentaries on the whole Power Ranger thing and stuff. But what happened is that they were non-SAG, so they were non-union. They got totally railed. Like all of them got just nothing. Like they were getting $600 a week filming all that stuff for the first season, and then they started complaining and they fired the Red
that's why they had like the Green Ranger and like all these other Power Rangers come in and stuff. Yeah.
Basically what happened, and then they made it into a trope. So what ended up happening is that they made it into this whole thing where they kicked the people out. So what they did is like, let's kick other people out next season. So they made it a running thing where like every season there's new Rangers.
Yeah.
And more like it was basically they did it so nobody could get leverage.
Yeah, made it fun short term, but ruined the whole thing long term.
Right. Yeah, that kind of sucked and stuff and everything. But then like yeah, there was all this like hazing and stuff. Like the Blue Ranger was like gay and stuff, and a lot of not the cast members, but the crew who were filming the show were just basically harassing him really badly for being gay. Basically, yeah, there was a bunch of shit like that. He stuck around for 3 seasons, and then
which one?
The Blue Ranger, the original.
Oh, we all kind of knew. He just didn't.
Yeah, we all kind of knew, but they were doing really on him for being gay, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, and like everyone, his whole crew, his team members, they're all cool with him. Yeah, that's cool, dude. But like they were on like at the rest, but the people filming it and some of the people from Cybin were giving him tons of shit for being, they're calling him the F word and stuff and everything. Like, yeah, like
wow.
Yeah, it was kind of like, yeah, it was pretty rough. Yeah. One day I'll get rich enough. I'll buy the series. I'll just buy it cash. I'll buy the toy rights and buy everything, and then I'll make like an adult version. Not adult version, but like.
Well, you could get Ed on that case.
Well, I exactly it is, bro. Like I'll license the name Power Rangers to the Space Force, bro. The amount of clout the fucking Space Force would get for like making their special. So you have dude, the memes would be insane. So you have Navy SEALs, you got Green Berets, you got fucking Power Rangers.
Power Rangers on Mars,
right? But it's crazy too because like the first Power Rangers, like it was all actually on It was all Japanese cartoons. It was all Japanese shows that they dubbed over it and stuff. It's kind of crazy. I went back.
You don't get a show that crazy just coming out of America naturally.
No way. Yeah.
Got to get some crazy Japanese manga.
Yeah.
To get those juices, those creative juices flowing.
My favorite, if we're just because we're on this Power Ranger kick, I'll just say it. Like my favorite Power Rangers probably back in the day was probably In Space.
I think I saw like did they have a lot of that? I didn't think. Yeah, I think by that time I was out.
Yeah, so it was like In Space. It was like going through space now. I sort of the song. That shit was hard, bro. I don't care. I am a little bit younger than you, Charlie.
yeah, just a couple of years.
Yeah, because basically like when Power Rangers first came out, I was really young. The what was it like after 10,000 years I'm free, time to conquer Earth, right? The first seasons, and then it went like Power Rangers Zeo Force or whatever, and then
that's the one I remember.
Turbo sucked cock.
I don't think I remember that.
Yeah, Turbo just sucked, and then
that's probably where I fell off.
Yeah, I fell off too, and then they came back with like Power Rangers in Space. That one was sick, and then it ended. The last good one was maybe Jungle Force or Wild Force or whatever, which is like the next one after Space. And that one was crazy because like Zordon died and everything. That was pretty. And a bunch of Power Rangers died in that one. It was like whoa. It was actually the serious one. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. We were talking about Beast Wars last time I was on your show, and I was just like, yeah, I think at the time, like, if I remember correctly, like once I guess basically fell off of, I was like, yeah, Power Rangers suck now, and then I think I just went over to Beast Wars after that.
Oh, Beast Wars, yeah, Beast Wars was cool.
Beast Wars is an unknown gem. Like that was a good one. That was. Really
I couldn't watch it because I kept wanting the toys. I just never could get it. I knew I had a neighbor I guess he was like we were renting the house from his parents basically, and he had like. He was already older than me. He was probably 17 when I was like a kid or whatever. But like I came into his computer room and he had like every Beast Wars, every Zords. You remember Zords and Gundams? No. He had every mobile collectible. He had it, and I walked in. I was like, wow, this is so like no. He had shelves, bro, like shelves. I was like, I've never seen like that was like Bezos level shit to me back in the day. I thought he was the coolest dude in the world, bro. Like, I literally like. If he told me DBZ was gay or some shit, like I was that shit's gay. Like he had 3 shelves. I was like, not 1, not 2, but 3. He had 3 shelves of collectibles, like 1, 2, 3, and then he had it wrapping around the entire fucking room. I was like, dude, I thought this guy was a pimp. Like I thought he was the coolest dude in the world. I was like, wow. I walked in and I was just like, holy shit. I was like,
Yeah, that was kind of my impression when I went to when I was in Germany. I went to I think it was the BMW museum, and they literally had like cars, like because I remember going to the comic store back in the day. You know, they'd have like, you have your glass case and you'd have your like different cards and comic books or whatever like that were like the really rare ones like in the glass case. You'd be like, oh, okay, it's cool. And then the first time I saw like a revolving one in the glass case, I was like, oh, that's pretty dope, you know?
yeah.
And then I went to I think it was the BMW museum in Munich, and I was like, whoa, they have like cars on or maybe it was the Audi museum. It was one of those two, but they had cars like on like a conveyor belt going like around like this or whatever like that. I was like, that's fucking cool.
Well, one of the coolest things I see is like in Japan, they have like you can park your cars, and they actually have your thing on a loop as well.
Yeah, in the parking garage. Yeah, it's like there's like these parking garages, right, which look like a building, and like we can't see inside them. Like I always wondered, like, how the fuck does that thing work? Because you drive it in, it's like goes on like a turntable, and it goes up, and they put it somewhere there, you know, like. But there's apartments in Japan as well. They have like they don't have much space for parking, so like you park your car, and it gets put up like on like basically like a shelf or whatever. It just goes up like 3 cars above. I'm like, hopefully you can get that one out of there when you want to, like not have to ask like people, hey guy below me, can I get my car out? I'm pretty sure.
I've heard of apartments where you can drive your car into your house, elevators into your house.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you have a key card, you have a special key card, a code, and then you're in your car, so you go like, and then you just drive a little forward off the thing, and then you're at your apartment door. You're actually at your apartment, so it's like literally inside your loft. It's like a giant I own a wing. Like it's like I like if you're rich, like when you're rich enough and stuff, like you got the whole floor, and then your car gets lifted up to the 3rd floor, or whatever floor you are in the building, and then you drive in. You're just literally driving on your floor. That's kind of tight. But I've heard of those. Those are mostly in like I've heard of them in Detroit, and like only in Detroit or what's that place called? Chicago.
Okay, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
kind of random. I mean, Detroit makes sense, but I'm not sure why Chicago.
Oh, just because there's a lot of ball players and stuff like that, and just kind of people like that. I mean,
maybe. Yeah.
I mean, you got to think too. They the commodities markets over there too. So the
right, the CME.
Right? The CME, yeah. So there's some ballers out there, you know. Maybe Miami too, and some condos. Yeah, exactly. What Rick's saying, yeah.
Yeah, go see one of them. See one of those things. I don't know what I can imagine, but I haven't seen that before. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, this has been an interesting conversation. We've just been talking about random.
Yeah, pretty random.
Yeah, but I love it. I love it. This is what you go with the DCC stream right here, man. This is like,
I like it.
Yeah, it's like I like to like we blend in like randomness with like good topics and stuff, and then you get more of a kind of a hangout and everything.
Yeah, just have a good time.
Yeah, that car elevator is implemented in China already. Yeah, they're implemented all over the world basically. It'd be really cool if you could actually buy a car. You can order cars online, but it's kind of like prohibited in most states because dealerships don't want that because they want you to go to the dealership to buy.
Yeah, the dealer, the car manufacturing industry like that wastes so much material. Like, right. There's like sometimes you go past like here in Tokyo, you can go past like shipyards where they're gonna like have like a ton of cars ready to ship. I'm like, is there gonna be somebody who's buying each and every one of those cars, right? And then like you go out and you look at the dealerships, and sometimes they have like way more cars than they need. And I'm like, in like a small town like in Minnesota of like 5,000 people, and they got like 5,000 cars on the lot. You're like, how's this work?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But yeah, so I don't know. Anything else we got?
I guess that's pretty much it. The only thing I have to say is like maybe answer this question. Like I've got 15 ETH. I got to keep 10 for MLD. I can sacrifice 5. Is it too late? No, I mean you can just. It's mostly just you're kind of gambling more on the hex price and stuff. So if you are, you'd have to just convert it to hex because Ethereum's not going to run up as much as like hex could possibly run up, right?
Yep.
You can still get a 2x out of hex or 3x out of hex. If you wait, you have to be patient. Where like on Ethereum, the most I could see is going back to 3,000. If on some like crazy pump off of like EIP, but remember on EIP it'll dump back down.
Right.
So it's that whole sort of thing. So you gotta kind of like weigh them out and stuff.
Yeah, I think Fat had it. This was an interesting question during my stream. I think this is kind of a good one to end it on, maybe, because like at the end of my stream, somebody asked this question. We started talking about airplanes for like 20 minutes. But like,
right.
so like, yeah. Well, if you were to want to purchase something, that you've always wanted to purchase, or you've never purchased, and it's something like a big purchase, like, what would you do? I like this question. This is odd. All Art Suave Angelo came up with the question. I was like, oh,
yeah, with a gigantic purchase. I don't know. I mean,
just something you kind of like always wanted. Like, it doesn't have to be a gigantic purchase. It could be like a fucking dope ass laptop or something too. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but like,
yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. There's like these giant vehicles and stuff that are like fully bulletproof and stuff that are like these they can go off road or whatever. It's like literally like a tank almost, but it's a car.
that'd be cool.
And it's actually got 8 tracks on them. So literally it is a tank basically. It's a tank car.
Oh, it has like tracks.
Track. It actually has track on it, and it's impossible to stop. Like it can go through bear, it can like smash through bear. It can do anything. Like they actually showed a version of it in the new Fast and the Furious. It's actually in there. There's different versions of that kind, but there's basically it's just gigantic car. Like it's probably like 3 times. It's probably just as wide as the lane itself, but it's like twice as long as probably I would say maybe a Escalade. And this thing's super amount of horsepower, gigantic, huge gas tanks, bulletproof as fuck. That shit can go through anything. Like literally, you can just go 80 miles and just break through like steel barricades. So it's like bam, it'll go. It does not like basically it's impossible to stop. Like you can even rocket, you can RPG. It doesn't do anything. It could hit a bomb.
Okay, we need one of these for the Citadel.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Like it's an Abrams.
Your escape vehicle from the Citadel. If anybody comes and tries to mess shit up.
Yeah, basically, I want one of those vehicles and shit. If shit goes down, bro, I'm just like,
I'm out of here.
Charlie, jump in, bro. Let's get out of here, bro. We gotta get to the airplanes. We gotta get to the airplane.
That's great.
Yes, exactly. I want to kill Dozer.
I've seen some of there's like some sort of like somebody who made like a handmade version, one of those or whatever, is just driving through the city, cops trying to like stop it. Shit, those videos are hilarious.
Right. Fucking kill Dozer. I don't know how we can end it better than that.
Kill
Dozer.
Ended on the kill Dozer.
All right. Well, anyway, Charlie, where can people follow you? Because I mean, they should know you already by now, but like,
just come over here. Right, and then go over to the same name channel on YouTube, Cultivate Crypto, and we'll be doing Moon Gang with DCC here on Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. So a normal standard bat time that everybody will be up. But appreciate all the guys in the stream today who came in and got up in the middle of their nights. Hats off to you.
For real. And you can just follow me at Dollar Cost Crypto. Just hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell, because if you don't hit the notification bell, you get unsubscribed sometimes.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's a huge thing. Yeah, so you tell people to hit the all button on the notification bell, because I've had this thing where I've subscribed to people, like even just personal channels. I'm just kind of watching for fun, like cooking stuff or something like that, and then I check back the next day and I'm unsubscribed. Damn. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? So yeah, you have to hit if it's really a channel you like, you got to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit all. That way, it's pretty messed up. They're doing that.
Make sure to do that on our channels, but not on Alex Becker's. There we go. I'm totally joking.
Oh yeah, I just speaking of that, the P-51 Mustang with the twin Merlin engines. Oh my god, that shit is fire. I would love one of those. Like if you guys don't want to watch a video, go pick P-51 Mustangs. Just like when it was like, dude, that is what is it? I think it goes like 600 or 800 miles an hour.
Damn. I think I was talking about that with my dad actually, because he saw that part of when I was talking about the show, and he's been a pilot for years, so he's gone to like the Oshkosh, Wisconsin, like events and stuff like that. He said apparently like the Germans had made like a jet or whatever back during World War II, but they couldn't get them to production fast enough. So the P-51 Mustangs were like the one that's like the most like just the fastest and dominated World War II. I was like, that's pretty cool. I was like, good thing we ended it at that time, right?
Yeah.
But like apparently the Mustang car is named after that one. I was like, I didn't know that.
Damn.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, interesting stuff. You should check it out. But anyway, if you guys want a consultation, just hit up Cultivate right here at cultivatecrypto.com. Just hit me. My website's still being built right now, and forever built. But you can hit me up through DM and stuff, either on Telegram or Twitter. And if you need a consult right now about how to a strategy for getting into the Pulse chain, what's called Sacrifice Chamber, just hit me up. Literally one of the few people in the entire internet that's even doing consults on it. Literally. Yep. So you got to do it now if you want to get in. So thanks, you guys. Peace.